Hello to tonight's episode of The Untold, the show, of course, all about great individuals and the stories that they have and their untold journeys. I'm your host, Abdullah AlHendyani. I'm joined by my colleague.
And I'm Lujain AlAtheri. And our guest today is Alia Abuaisha, who's a styling coach and color analyst. And I think that's a really interesting thing to have because we've had some fashion people before on the show, but not any who specialize in color theory.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's really fascinating because we know, general kind of knowledge that, red is, the color of romance, black is the color of sadness, white is neutral. But beyond that, you don't really know the meaning behind colors. So to know there's a field that actually analyzes colors, the different amount of colors on the huge spectrum of colors, it's really fascinating. I'm really curious to sit down and talk to her.
So am I, and I think I have some more knowledge on this subject than you do because of, being interested in fashion and everything. So there's actually a thing called the color theory in terms of how you dress, like different skin tones and other stuff. And I've never been able to figure out mine. So I have a lot of questions for her, and I can't wait to get started.
We can't wait to get started as well. With that in mind, we are going to go on a break and come back right with her. And we are back with Alia Abuaisha. I want to first thank you for being the distinguished guest who is, I believe, the first guest we've had on The Untold who's a color analyst and, stylist. So it's a very distinguished kind of field, and I'm really curious to talk to you all about it. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
For the beginning, could you maybe explain what color analysis is to the viewers?
The story behind the color analysis goes to physics and exactly to the science of the light, because color is a light, and color is studied as in terms of waves, frequency, heat, and even vibrations. So when you understand the relationship between the different waves of lights, you would understand the science or the psychology behind the colors. And that science would help us in interior, in fashion, and even marketing and designing our clothes and logos and so on.
Yeah, I was just going to ask because in this episode, there's a thing in movies where sometimes you see a character and all of the characters explain to them what happened. And so actually in movie making, they call that character the audience because the audience don't know about the intricacies of this kind of story. So I'm going to be that character here. When it comes to styles, colors, and everything, I really have maybe 1% knowledge. So I do want to ask you, what makes a color, right? As opposed to it just being a taste or a feeling. Like, what are the rules that define colors and how we approach such colors? And how do you personally go and tackle each color?
There are no rules in colors. Colors usually are tied to certain feelings because they have the ability to evoke some certain feelings within us. Let's take, for example, blue is the color for trust and calmness. Red can evoke feelings of anger or power. Black can evoke feelings of sophistication or some unclarity. So we preserve and we analyze colors differently. But usually there are common characteristics among certain colors, and many studies across history, they try to link the human behavior to the colors. For example, in marketing, they use blue for certain logos. Like if you recall some big logos, they are in blue because blue evokes trust feelings. So the client, when the customer see a blue logo, the unconscious mind will observe the blue as a trust. So I can trust this company and I can buy its product. So the way we analyze colors is very important. We tend to analyze colors unconsciously and translate that into our behaviors. But some people are aware of that, some people are unaware.
That makes a lot of sense because I think people use it in interior design as well. Certain colors for certain rooms help you feel more cheerful, more relaxed, especially in like children's hospitals and stuff. They pick a lot of colors so the kid feels more calm. And I've read a lot about that stuff. But I feel like a lot of people tend to just choose colors based on what they're used to or what their favorite colors are. So why do you think that is?
favorite colors goes to the history and even to the childhood history. So sometimes we link certain colors to certain experiences, so we become familiar with this color. Let's take, for example, girls. We like pink. Not
Yeah.
Pink is not the color of feminism. Purple is the color for feminism, but because everything, all the toys or the clothes of little girls are made of from pink, so we grow up familiar with this color, and we tend to have it in all of our belongings, even the makeup, the clothes, the even the packages of the products. We tend to pick color because we grow up and this color was in our environment. But if that color was different, if that color was blue or green, we would pick that color, the blue or the green. You see what I mean? Like we grow up with some certain of identification of certain colors in our memory, and by the time we pick it up unconsciously because it was there since the beginning.
That makes so much sense.
Yes.
And actually, I want to ask you about something I've been hearing a lot about, which is how there are different color palettes based on skin tone.
True.
And you're meant to figure out if you're more summer-based colors, winter, spring. But I personally struggle a lot with figuring out which one that I am. So why is choosing the right color for your skin tone or eyes important?
It is important because some certain colors can brighten up your skin without having to put too much makeup on. Some colors would suit your tone because they harmonize with your undertone. For example, your cheeks will blush naturally, your eyes will pop up. Even your hair color will harmonize with the colors that you are wearing, while other colors will dim your face. For example, now brown is very trendy, but
Yeah.
for some girls, the brown is very harsh on their skin color. So we have to be careful which color would suit us most, so we invest more in it.
And speaking of colors that suit you and picking them, do colors actually influence our mood or affect our, positive energy, or is that, something we feel like it, but it's not related to the colors? Like, how much of an impact do they have on our moods?
Of course, what you wear affects your emotional state, and many studies showed that colors can elevate your mood, enhance your productivity, and even influence how others treat you. Let's take, for example, the big companies like Google or Gmail. Their interior is based on yellow because yellow provokes innovation and creativity. So they know that that color, yellow exactly, will send signals to the brains to create new ideas. So when you know the impact of the color, you would use it wisely in your surroundings, whether your clothes or interior or with your belongings.
So would you say that there are some colors that are more suitable for formal occasions or social events or job interviews, for instance?
Exactly. For job interviews, let's say the neutral colors are the safe colors, black and white, navy blue, because they do not evoke any certain negative emotions, and people are familiar with those colors. While in social events, it would be nice to wear more bold colors like orange, red, fuchsia, even metallic or silver and gold. So it depends on the occasion, it depends on the time, even the time of the day. Like in the morning, it would be nice to wear the bright colors, in the evening, the darker shades of the colors.
That makes a lot of sense. And I do agree with you that some colors would make people feel like you're more serious this way. For instance, I think if I came to a job interview in a neon pink suit, I might not be taken seriously by the person trying to employ me.
Exactly.
Whereas if I go to a social gathering like that, everyone will be like, oh, such an amazing outfit. And I would just feel good in it.
Yes.
Do you also think it affects how we look in terms of being slimmer or thicker? Because sometimes I feel I wear something and I look a lot more big than I am, or some are more, like people say black is a very slimming color. Is there more to that?
Yes, there is science behind that. As I mentioned earlier, color is a light, or is a wave of light. So the darker shades of certain colors, all colors, actually not only black, if you wear a darker shades of a certain color, you will distract attention. So people will not look at this area, so you would look slimmer. While when you wear a brighter color, it will attract other people's attention. So you will be more obvious in that bright color. So you would look like you have gained extra kilos. So it's a trick a trick of lightening and a trick to the eyes. But actually, all dark shades of colors, like maroon, charcoal gray, emerald green, could make you look slimmer.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I was just curious about that color wheel you brought because
Yeah.
I'm not sure if audience can see it, but that's the color wheel. And I was thinking that, do picking colors for professional setting in terms of the color wheel itself, does it really matter? Is there, like you said, is there a science behind it, or
Yeah.
how do we tackle this?
Usually, the colors are organized in the color wheel according to the temperature. Let's take this for example. The upper half are the cool colors, green, blue, and purple, and the second half, orange, red, and yellow, are the warm colors. So when you understand the relationship between the colors, for the designer, it would be easier to pick up the colors because colors sit together in the wheel in certain relationships. For example, let's say you want to mix blue with a complementary color, so it would be easy from the color wheel. Blue and yellow works together perfectly. We can also take analogous colors. Any colors that sit next to each other would go nicely together. So it's a tool, a visual tool that helps designers to arrange the colors in a scientific way.
That's really so cool. And it reminds me of the thing to do with what colors you wear and the undertones of skin. But how would people be able to figure out what their colors are? 'Cause I struggle with that.
They would need assistance by a color analyst if they cannot do it alone. But I'm gonna give you a tip. At home,
Yeah.
without any makeup, take 2 t-shirts. In the first t-shirt, it's gonna be a bright white t-shirt, and take a selfie with it under a normal light, not a yellow light. Then a second time, try a yellow t-shirt. Then try to compare both photos. In which photo your skin glow up and you blush naturally, and in which color your skin will dim. So if your skin blushes more in the white, so you would tend to have more cool undertone. So you would perfectly harmonize with blue, green, and purple because you have a cool undertone. However, if you feel that your face shines more in the yellow t-shirt, then it's probably you have a warm undertone, and you would harmonize better with orange, yellow, and red.
That's so amazing. I'm going to go home and try that for sure, because I've seen some stuff online about this, but personally, I always struggle to figure out, do I look good in this color, or is this color better? Because I like all colors as well. Like, I love wearing colorful things. I love trying different things, patterns. So I want to be able to pick the right tone for myself, but it's hard to choose when there's so many choices sometimes.
True,
So
yeah.
thank you. I will try that trick.
You're
You think
welcome.
you will, Abdullah?
You know, I'll probably try and attempt to do that trick, but this
I
is
need the
all.
photos as proof.
Yeah, this is all baffling to me because, as I mentioned before, it's all uncharted territory for me. So let's say, for example, someone like me wants to better understand the relationship between all of these colors and the undertones and what difference does it make to have this color with this color. How would I go about that? How would I improve my perception of colors?
It depends on the occasion. For example, if you are here for a TV shoot or shooting, or interviews, it would always be safer to go with the neutral colors, navy, brown, beige, and ivory. But for your social gatherings, you need to try. You need to try between the cool colors and the warm colors. And sometimes for men, it is easy, for example, to take one color, let's say the blue, and go with it in the different shades. We call this the monochromatic style. For example, you can wear a navy blue with light blue shirts. So pick a one color and put it in different layers and in different shades. Usually blue is the safest color for men, and it suits them. It suits you very well.
You should try that out.
Yeah.
I should, we should try different colors. But I do like how men, especially in the Gulf countries, we just picked white for our dishdashas and we were like, okay, we're done with all of our outfits. Let's stick with that one.
It is an easy color to wear.
Yeah.
But we are going to go on a short break, and then I hope we can talk about this some more because I love talking about colors and clothes, and I've been hoping to speak to a specialist about this. So thank you for the tips. But with that, we're going to go on a short break.
And we are back. And I believe there's something, for me personally, I'm very curious about that we haven't really dug into in this episode. Is that you personally, how did you go into this field? You know, this is a very special kind of field, very unique kind of field. So how did you find yourself in this kind of, operations?
Because I love coloring since I was younger, and I'm a painter. I can paint and color. I have a lot of canvases at home.
MashaAllah.
And I start reading about color theory and how colors have different relations and how colors affects our mood. Then I started to dig for certain certification that's related to this information. So I studied and I applied for certification. Alhamdulillah, I passed in that certification. And I wanted to convey this message to other ladies that it would be smart to know your colors instead of go just shopping like this without any pre-agenda. Because once you know your colors, shopping will be much easier, and this will simplify your wardrobe, will simplify your life. So I saw the benefit of color theory on myself, and I started to spread this idea to other ladies around me. And I start coaching since then, since 2023.
That's amazing. My mom was an artist as well, and that helped me lead to my love of color. I would see her in her studio painting with all different shades, and she also had like a similar wheel, but I never understood the theory behind it. Like I didn't study it or anything like that, but it did lead me to love to experiment with colors and stuff.
Nice.
Especially during different phases of my life. Like I think if you saw me 10 years ago, I was always in all the colors that you would find. Nowadays, I pick more neutral colors because they're easier to mix and match throughout the year. And I want to ask you actually, what is like the biggest mistake people can make when choosing colors?
When they tend to wear trending colors and those colors clashes with their undertone. Plus, when they try too many colors together, like the golden rule is wear one color or two, that's it. If you want to introduce a third color into your outfit, it shouldn't be more than 10%, like in jewelry or bag, that's it. Plus, sometimes you see a color on a friend or colleague or celebrity, and you think that it would be as much as bright on yourself. No, we are different. We have different tones. We have different skins. We have different emotions. So we represent colors differently because we are different.
No, that makes so much sense because it reminds me of like a time I would see an outfit on a mannequin and I'd be like, I really want that outfit. And then I go try it on and I'm like, this looks really bad on me. It doesn't suit me at all. So I think a lot of people struggle with that because especially following trends can be really bad for personal style. Like some trending colors can really suit everybody, I think. The more neutral ones, maybe.
Yes.
But I guess it has to be based on the shades that work for them.
Yes.
And that's something a lot of people struggle with.
Yes.
So what's the difference between the color palette and the undertones specifically?
The color palette, or you mean the basic colors?
Yeah.
The basic colors are the colors that we see on the rainbow, like the 7 colors.
Okay.
Red, yellow, green, purple. Those are the basic colors. But in science, each color has more than 500,000 different shades.
500,000?
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot.
Half of those shades are warm because they are mixed with the yellow tone, so they fit to warm skin. And half of those shades are cool. They are mixed with a little bit of blue, so they fit the cool skin tone. In arts, if you take any color and you mix it with yellow, it becomes warm. If you mix it with blue, it becomes cool. Therefore, from each color, you can create different shades of warm colors that suits the warm skin people, and you can create cool tone that suits the cool tone people. So this is that's the mystery. Like let's pick up. We mentioned earlier blue, but in reality there are 500 shades of blue. So not any shade of those would suits you. You need to try until you find your shades that matches your skin tone.
Yeah. Also, there are colors I believe that our eyes can't perceive, because I was watching space videos and space pictures, and a lot of them said that the colors of whatever I was watching, I think it was called a cloud smoke or something like that, the colors were actually made in the computer because the human eye can't see those colors. So not only are colors endless when it comes to stuff we can see, they're also infinite when it comes to stuff that we can't perceive in our eyes. I believe animals can see them, but not us.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes, we as human beings, we can see more colors, for example, more than the dog. Dogs can see only black and white.
Oh, yeah.
But our vision can see more colors than the dogs. But if we compare human beings' ability to the birds, birds can see more larger spectrums of colors because, as mentioned earlier, color is a wave, and some creatures have the ability to capture more waves than we do. So some animals can see less than us, and some animals can see more than we can see.
Yeah.
So we are different, and we use subhanallah, God created us with different abilities. Yes, yes.
True. We're all individual. And
Yes.
actually, I'm just kind of curious. So I want to ask you this. What is your tone for colors? Because the shade you're wearing of red looks so good on you.
Thank you.
So I'm just curious, like, what is yours for, like, as an example?
Cool.
Cool. So this is like a cool shade of red.
Yes, maroon.
So is this a cool shade or is it a different
This is
type?
warm shade. This is
Warm.
burgundy.
Okay.
burgundy.
Yeah, it is burgundy.
Yeah.
No, I'm just curious because I love colors, so I need
Yeah.
to get more into the theory, I think,
Yes.
because it's so cool. And I do actually want to ask you, since we're TV presenters and we're under the cameras and lights all the time, does the camera change how the colors look?
Yes, yes. Due to the lightning, due to the camera sensors or the softwares that comes built in with the cameras. Yes, of course.
Are there any colors that we should completely avoid when on camera?
On camera?
Like for instance, like today, we're filming. Is there a color that would look really bad that I should definitely avoid in all my shopping purchases for TV?
Yellow.
Yellow. Interesting.
And any glittery or bright color, very, very bright.
Okay.
The lights, the glitter fabric.
Yeah.
الأقمشة الماعة.
No, that makes so much sense. It's unfortunate because I actually really love glitter and shiny things. I just can't wear them on TV. But in my regular life, people, I'm very sparkly all the time. Do you ever wear glitter?
Only in my birthday parties.
Okay,
But yeah,
amazing.
Because
I need to see that.
because we have what is called the one that sells in baqalat.
Oh,
We
the
push it and
yeah.
also
Yeah,
glitter.
I
so
get
that's
those.
usually glitter all over the place.
Interesting.
Yeah. I do want to ask you something about something that I think is going to be the million-dollar question. What are the trending colors of this year? Because I know a lot of years have their own specific kind of colors.
True. So the colors of 25, 26 would be brown and all shades of brown, from mocha mousse, the light shades of brown, to espresso brown, the very dark shades of brown, and also shades of green, emerald green, and sage green. Also, we have on the list all shades of burgundy.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a
aubergine,
lot.
and purple. Burgundy has been with us since 2024, and it's a very strong and powerful color. Burgundy, aubergine, and maroon. So those are the trendiest colors now.
Yeah, no, whenever I go shopping, especially when they do it seasonally, like right now, the whole market is full of like navy, dark colors, a lot of burgundy.
Yes.
Brown, I'm not a big fan of personally because it's just not a color I associate with in general. As you said, I like more colorful colors, so I
Yes.
try to stick with those when I can. But it's just really interesting because also, whenever you go shopping, I don't know what it is, but when you try on clothes in the changing room, they pick the worst lights possible.
Exactly.
Those lights will show you every flaw in your face, and I feel like they can change the color of and I feel like they can change the color of the clothes. So, do you have any advice for people who go shopping on how to not be misled by lighting?
Do it during the daytime. Go do shopping during daytime, so
Okay.
you don't depend on the light in the rooms, because sometimes they use like white light.
Yes, and that's the
this
worst.
could affect how it reflects on your skin. So do it on the daytime. Take a friend with you, so a second eye would help you to pick up the right color for you.
I think that's not going to work for me and my friends because we all have equally bad taste in
I'll go with you. It's
outfits.
okay.
Yeah.
We'll get a whole
I'm
new
just gonna
wardrobe
stick
together.
to artist dasha. I think that's where us men have it way easier because even if we wear the same thing day after day, nobody's gonna bat an eye. But for you women, it's like, oh, you've wore this last Tuesday. Oh, there must be something wrong. I'm like, okay, just stick to artist dashas. That's fine.
But even tishdashas, I see men nowadays, they have different colors of tishdashas.
I love seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, last summer I saw like a light blue dishdasha made from linen. I saw some men wearing blue dishdasha and sage green dishdasha. So there are some certain colors are now coming into the dishdasha
Yeah.
industry.
No, I agree entirely. I think that especially when shopping, you have to focus on also what works for you.
Yes,
And that's
absolutely.
something a lot of people don't get. And as you mentioned, styling and color can be two different things.
Yes.
So, how would you tell people, especially in your field, how can you sometimes style them in a way, even if it's in a color they may not feel is the right color for them?
I just want to bring to attention that there is a difference between fashion and styling. Fashion is what's trending. It's what we can see on social media or by celebrities. But the style is something that you build and evolve with you. Like you can create it by you having your own identity. You don't have to copy other people. So when choosing the right color for you, let's say, I would ask you, what is your lifestyle? What are your goals? Are you, for example, a girl that you spend most of your hours in the gym, or do you spend most of your hours behind a desk working like an administration job? Because depending on your lifestyle, I would pick a color that suits your lifestyle, and from that color we can build a wardrobe that suits serve you better. So in this way you will create your own style without having to follow any trend.
I think that's amazing. And I think that's something a lot of people should try to follow. Don't just blindly follow trends, but
Yes.
focus on your style and try to find your right color. And with that, I really want to thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
I feel like I learned so much. Did you learn anything?
I have, yeah, honestly, to be conscious about the things that you were, as you know, when we were kids, you never really put a lot of thought into it. But as you grow older, I'm talking about us men, as you grow older, you see how people perceive you based on what you wear, based on what you're, doing and how you look like. It really puts into perspective how important this kind of thing is. And so we really want to thank you for sitting with us.
Thank you for having me. I just want to conclude with one fact.
Yeah.
The human brain can make a judgment about people within 7 seconds based on the color.
Wow. I had no idea.
So, like for example, a brain can see an object. Okay, this is an object. This is a man. What color is the man is wearing? So the judgment is based or is made within the first 7 seconds.
Yeah.
That's why we say the first impression lasts. So the more you take care of your appearance in job interviews or TV interviews, the more impact you would have on other people. So try to think smart next time you pick up a color before you come to an interview, and think how this color would be perceived by other people.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I wouldn't have thought of the science behind all of this. So thank you for bringing that to light. And unfortunately, we're going to go on a short break, but I want to thank you again for joining us.
You're welcome.
And I hope I get to do the trick. And I seriously might ask you to do the color analysis for me. I think it'll be very beneficial.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
with that, we are going to go on a break.
And that concludes today's episode of The Untold. Honestly, amazing. The thing that I really like about The Untold when you came in on the show is that now they bring the stylists, they bring, fashion specialists to the show. And it really opens my eyes to the wealth of knowledge, the world that I really was unfamiliar with before, right? Now they have excuse to bring these amazing guests in so much extraordinary fields to talk with.
I had no idea they didn't do it before with you.
Yeah, we had no stylist guests before.
I actually love talking to them because it's not like I am personally a fashionista, but I do love style. I love fashion. I think a lot of girls are ingrained from a younger age to go shopping and be interested in clothes. And I loved using it as a form to express myself. And I love the stuff she had to say about how color theory is actually a science based on the wavelengths of color. It's something I hadn't really considered because color is light, how we perceive it. And I've never really thought too much about that. So it was a very interesting take.
Yeah, honestly, it was a great take for me personally to know that there's a relationship between colors, especially the warm colors, the cool colors. There are something called undertones. There's a lot of science behind all of this that we took for granted for so much time, right? So really fascinating to sit down, talk to her all about it.
And I love that we got to ask our own questions. Like personally, I am going to ask her for a color analysis off the show. Yeah. Maybe we'll do a secret segment Untold behind the scenes, focusing on what we actually might do with the guests, because all the guests we come have such amazing things to say. And I wish we could go into more details with all of them all the time, but that's all that we have. And with that, that is all we have for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And goodbye and see you next time.